Quarter squats, spin squats, or squat to boxes generally are getting out of hand, and I do not think they're effective or as effective as people make them out to be. Yes, probably I think the first people that's going to attack me for this video is going to be the track and field community. And the first thing they always say when it comes to defending these types of squats is join specific angles, join specific force. This is the things that they always say. And at the same time, you have people that always say these types of squats, these quarter squats, they are a great way to make sure that you aren't damaging yourself too much, because deep squats are a bit more damaging, meaning you're going to have more sore legs. Therefore, in season, it's a proper exercise to use. And I do agree with that argument. I do agree with the sentiment that it's a good way to use an exercise that is the same, because it's still a squat, but because of the reduced range of motion, you aren't going to get as sore. And I think it's a valid argument. But I think that does reveal something which I don't like, which is the fact that if that is an exercise to make sure that you don't get sore enough, because the hypertrophy effect is going to be too damaging and therefore hurt you or have you sore for game day, if that is a valid reason, then at the same time, can't we assume that that is an inferior exercise to actually get your athletes strong during phases where you want to accumulate hypertrophy and make some valid strength gains? I honestly think that some of it is going really far out of hand, because I know a lot of coaches who preach that they only do these types of squats. Why deep squat? It doesn't make sense, because it just doesn't make sense. You know, force vectors and everything. Yes, it does make sense, because your body can move in those ranges of motion. Therefore, you should train it to stay healthy. Range of motion is always something that I see as a health thing as well. It's definitely superior for hypertrophy, but it's also superior for making you feel better. I went through many programs where I believed coaches like this. This is my starting career. And honestly, when I started as an athlete and I saw these, I thought, that's the secret, guys. That's the weapon. That's the weapon. It's these quarter squats. They are magic. Load them up. You can load up a ton of weight. It looks cool. I have a lot of athletes come to me from the high school. They tell me, I can squat 200, coach. And this is the equivalent of their squat depth. And you see a lot of other athletes doing this as well. Some of them is really like, it's a bit, I know there's one awesome post I saw from Jump Science, who also is quite a proponent of squatting deep, especially during phases of accumulation, especially not necessarily close to your meets or performance times, but closer to your times where you are accumulating more volume. I know Jump Science, Daniel Back, I might be wrong with his name, he always says that these are called loaded spine jerks, he called them the one time, and I thought that was like the perfect description, because what are you really doing except for bending your knee really slightly? And if you really argue that this is making your legs stronger in a certain position, why not just get stronger in the full range of motion, the top one as well? Because I do think that deep squats generate superior results when it comes to making your athlete's legs stronger and more muscular. So honestly, the only real valid argument is to basically deload your athlete and make sure that they're still getting squats in and not getting too sore from the training. And that is a valid argument. But it is a very stupid argument to say that pin squats and quarter squats are more effective for performance, because I just don't believe that is true. And I honestly think that this exercise has just been blown out the window, because sometimes I do think that it is a lazy coaching. In my experience, I know a lot of coaches that only do quarter squats with big groups. And I think it's just a way of not needing to coach athletes how to squat properly, because it's easy. Load a lot of bar on. The kids feel, or the youth athletes feel that, I'm squatting a lot of weight, I'm getting so much stronger. And two, do something that's not challenging at all. It's not challenging to squat to a box, touch your bum, use the momentum to stand up. It's not challenging. It's not. It's easy, actually. It's really easy. When athletes tell me they squat 200, it's a bit worrying to me that you can squat 200, but you can't deep squat 80 kgs. That's bad. You are literally halving it. That is really crazy to me. How are you squatting 200? So what are you really doing if you can squat that much but you can't deep squat? And range of motion is just very important. So if you're going to do some sort of quarter squatting in your program, even if that is in season, I always recommend that you do counter. I know Zingler's Strength also spoke about doing his heavy lifts with less range of motion and his accessory movements with a lot of range of motion and more reps. I think this is a great way to balance it. It's not how I always program, but it's a great way of looking at it, into the fact that you always need to include some sort of range of motion, whether that be in your accessories, in your main lifts. You need full range of motion training because it's good for you. It's good for your joints. It's good for everything in your body. And this counts for upper body and lower body. So that's my take I have on pin squats and quarter squats. If you like what I just said here, you want to find out more about my coaching, you want to be trained by me, you can join my Athletic Endeavours training group. It's $10 or 170 Rand per month if you're South African watching this video. And it is a training team that basically gets a full program every month. And every month you get a new program. It's 5 days of training, 2 sprint days, and 3 gym days. It's a great program to hop on if you don't want to spend too much money but still want quality program. And if you also want a different program for the off season, you can consider taking the Total Athlete program, which is just an overall great program if you want to improve your athleticism for the next season. See you in the next video.